the CEO of Cole Creative, and today I am chatting with Elizabeth Graham. Hi, Liz. How are you today?
Hey, Holly, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Before we get started with anything, would you mind taking just a minute or two here to let people know who you are?
Sure. My name is Liz Graham. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Riggs Asset Management. I also am currently the Greater Wilkes-Barre Chamber of Business and Industry. I have been living in northeastern Pennsylvania for almost 20 years, and I am a very happy resident of Bear Creek Village in northeastern Pennsylvania.
Wonderful, and it's wonderful to have you. So basically, I have one question for you today. This series has been born out of a previous series of 30 days of staying connected during the coronavirus and
Sure.
COVID-19, stay shut in. But really, what I'm doing is I'm chatting with some people and asking them what's fueling you, and whatever kind of comes to mind here. I'd love to hear, what's fueling you during this time.
I think the same thing that fuels me generally is fueling me is my desire to help people at different levels. I just tend to be somebody that I always want to help. I'm always one of those folks that, okay, how can we make things better? How can we make our community better? How can we make our business community better? And so I've been spending the last several weeks, obviously helping my clients get through the, looking at the investment markets and the volatility, and there's a lot of fear there, and just helping them understand that there's a plan and that, we've seen similar, not exactly the same, but similar types of volatility before, whether it was 9/11 or the 2008 financial crisis. So a lot of my time early on was spent working with clients in that regard. And then I have clients that own small businesses, and I have clients that are independent contractors. And so I have spent a lot of time figuring out all of the funding resources available to small businesses, and sadly, the unemployment resources available to independent contractors. Say it's challenging.
Yeah.
They don't make it easy, and I give the government great credit because they're building this as they fly, and nobody could have anticipated that we would be here. But the system is not the most user-friendly thing that I've ever encountered. Let me just put it that way.
For sure.
So,
Yeah. No,
so
that's great. And, I know you personally, and I know the energy, the compassion, the passion that you bring really in anything that I've ever seen you involved in, which I know I truly appreciate on an individual level. And I know so many of the organizations you're able to work with and really touch have only benefited from your presence. So,
thank you.
yeah, no, of course, of course. So, it doesn't surprise me that that's, you just put your head down and you've been connecting with your clients and everyone else
Yeah.
along the way. I know I'm going to throw you, I did not tell you I was going to ask you this, but I'm just curious. What's maybe a piece of advice, if that's the right way to say it, or, and I'm not trying to sound too cliche or anything, but just some like words of hope maybe that you could share with anybody that might be tuning in to this?
Well, I have to say that it's, that social distancing, which is, obviously important, is also very isolating, even if you're in a family, because we are by our very nature social creatures. I love getting together with people. I love talking to people, and I miss that aspect of my life. And even though you're able to do it a little bit through technology, thankfully, it's not quite the same. But I think that, if I were to give any any words of advice, I would say that keep on going on, because it's not always going to be, this way.
Right.
And I think that that's the thing that people, they're like, oh my gosh, like I can only see this going forward. And the
Yeah.
truth of the matter is, it's not going to be this forever. It will be this for a little while, and there are some good aspects of it. You know, for example, as crazy as this is, typically on a normal workday, I wouldn't grab lunch. I would just work through lunch, or if I did grab it, I'd grab a quick sandwich at Circles. You know, today I ended up cooking myself a great pasta dish. So while that was boiling away on the stove, I was answering calls with clients and talking with clients, and I was able to do it all from my home. And, you know, that is a comfort. I think the other thing is we're all in it together. You know, it would be very isolating if I was doing it and you were not, you know, then
Yeah.
I'd really feel isolated. But the truth of the matter is we're all stuck in this, you know, this situation. And so you just have to sort of reinvent a little bit. You know, I work out in front of my television now as opposed to, you know, at a gym. I do walk outside. I do find getting outside and walking to be mentally very important for me. And I do Zoom. I mean, you know, it's stupid, but I grab a cocktail, I Zoom with a couple of friends, you know, and we catch up. It was easier to do at week 1 than it is at, you know, week 7 or 8, where you're like, yeah, nothing's going on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still at home.
Yeah.
The dog is still judging me when I go to the refrigerator. You know, it's so funny.
Definitely.
But you know, that's what it is, and you just find ways to laugh about, you know, what we're all going through.
For sure.
But it won't be this bad. In fact, I think we can all see, you know, even just having the better weather here in Pennsylvania
Yeah.
is making it a little bit easier.
It truly is. It really is. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your words of wisdom for everybody that's able to tune in. And I'm sure we'll talk and hopefully see each other again soon.
Yeah, well, Holly, I just want to thank you for doing this. This is actually a great way for people to connect and feel like, hey, you know, I'm seeing my friend Holly again. So, so thank you for everything you're doing. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Of course. Okay. Well,
Take
take care.
care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.